Hello everyone, and welcome back to another video. Today is episode 35 of your NHL 22 franchise mode here with the Edmonton Oilers as we're about to head into the trade deadline, as we're about a month out as we try to bring back the Stanley Cup back to Edmonton once again. As you guys all know, we won it last year and we're looking to go back to back, so let's hopefully, fix the goaltender problems that we're having. But before we hop all into this, I'd like to just say, if you are new to the channel, make sure to smash that subscribe button and hit that like button as well. So like I was saying, we're having a bit of goaltending problems. Juuse Saros has just been an absolute trash can out there for the Edmonton Oilers this year. He has just not been our guy. Of course, he's injured right now, but he's had an .894 in the 28 games that he's played and has just not been good for the Oilers. Now, Saros has been an amazing player for the Edmonton Oilers, without a doubt. Like, he has been putting up some terrific years. It's just all of a sudden now where he has just went completely trash, and it's kind of bad time to go completely trash because he is locked up for a while, and I think still right now he is stuck in a no movement clause. So we still have 2 years of no movement for Juuse Saros before it hops into a no trade clause. So it kind of puts us in a bit of a predicament where we really can't go out and do very much for our goaltending because we do have to keep Saros, and Casey DeSmith has been one of our better goalies. I mean, he's been absolutely incredible on crack. A .934 save percentage, 1.99 goals against average. He's been insane for the Edmonton Oilers out of the late, and he's been honestly the guy that's taking the starting reins right now. So, but let's head into simulation. We all know what we kind of want to do for the deadline. We want to try to pick up a playmaker, depth playmaker. I don't know, we might be trading a little bit more too, because especially if Saros is going to be bad this year, like I was saying in the last episode, I would be willing to trade away a guy like Dmitry Zadorov. Since we have a guy like Miles Cook coming up the pipeline, we really don't need a guy like Dmitry Zadorov. We might not even need a guy like Bouchard. I mean, if we keep two defensive defensemen, it's not a bad idea. You can have Dmitry Zadorov up at the top, Nurse. Ooh, that might be an idea too. I know Bouchard, he's still locked up on a very nice deal. We do know that. But he is the type of guy, I mean, we do need an offensive defenseman is the thing. I mean, we could swap one out, but then, like, why did we pick up Simon Edvinsson? We picked up Simon Edvinsson for a sole reason of being a shutdown guy for us. The reason why we're keeping Evan Bouchard is because he's that offensive guy, and we need an offensive guy. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't imagine me, unless we make a huge blockbuster deal where we bring in a different playmaker, but we got some big decisions that we got to make. we want to go back to back. That's a for sure thing that we do want to go back to back this year, but we're going to have to kind of make some tough decisions on what we're going to be really doing with this team. Right, because we are stuck with a lot of players because of no movement clauses. Actually, we're not too stuck, but Darnell Nurse is kind of one guy that I would like to depart from and maybe pick up somebody completely different for that decor. But I don't think that'll happen. Maybe we can make a big blockbuster move and bring somebody in that I think would be terrific, and then we could just trade Zadorov later on. We could do that, something like that as well. So Kaprizov. He's injured, so another loss there against Carolina. Big win there. So hopefully we can continue playing hot. McDavid has been absolutely nutty this year, and we'll get Kaprizov back in the lineup here for the Edmonton Oilers. Our boy Kaprizov. So yeah, we do want to pick up another playmaker. We definitely need one. I'm thinking we maybe even could bump down Garland down to the third line if we pick up somebody that's really good. We just in general want to make a big move. I think that's definitely one of my plans. Is we do want to make a big move to help the team out. As DeSmith having a couple of rough games here, 7-2 loss against the Ducks. Maybe we do go out there and get a better goalie than what we got in DeSmith right now. That's someone that's going to be actually able to, I don't know. I don't honestly know what we're going to do, because we can't just keep riding with DeSmith. He's a goaltender that hasn't played. Like, this is probably the most games he's played in a single year. So it is kind of concerning me for the fact that we have been playing him a lot already. 28 games. I think that's some of the, I mean, his most played season was 52 games. The next was 36. It's making me concerned. I mean, he's still doing really, really good. 924, he's dipped down a little bit, but that's going to happen no matter what. Colton Point as well, who's an absolute beast. We've had him before, and he's just been incredible for the team. Like, Colton Point's on just some other level as he loses 3-0. Yeah, man, I think maybe we do pick up a goaltender or something. Maybe Saros comes back from injury and does amazing. Maybe. That's asking for a lot, though. Like, Saros has just not been the guy this year. Like, at all. And it's sad. Like, I do want Saros to be that guy. He is our big goaltender, but when you have an 894, it just sucks that we're stuck with him right now. There's not a whole lot, you know, of decisions we can make unless we want to trade away DeSmith, who's been our best goaltender, right? Like, that's our only option if we wanted to do something like that. But goalies are absolute voodoo in this game, so you pick up a higher overall guy, you might actually be worse than DeSmith. So that's why I'm just thinking we build up the defense more than anything. Get the defense rough. Oh my god. Broken. What the fuck? Do we even have you play, bro? What? Jesus Christ. He is so injury prone this year as well. Oh, yeah. Yeah, he was legit backing up to Smith, and I guess he got pulled, and then I guess, yeah. Fuck me, dude. I wanted to give him a try, but now he has a broken ankle, so definitely won't be coming back for the next little bit. So we might have to just force a move that we might have to pick up a goalie. Yeah, we might have to do that. DeSmith has not been that. He's not been good the past few games, man. He is just, wow, that is, yikes, man, yikes. Man alive, why do we have to have all these goaltender problems in Edmonton all the time, man? It stresses me out, bro. Like, every damn time. I mean, DeSmith, his numbers are going back down. And I mean, that's just because, like, you look at the amount of games he's playing. Like, this is usually what he does. Like, he plays 32 games a year. That's what he should be doing. And he's going to almost get 50. Because the amount of times that we've had to start him. It's ridiculous. I didn't want to start him this amount of times. I really did not. But we're kind of getting it forced upon us. So, I think we massively improved that D-core. I think we make some big moves. I know I said in the last video that I didn't want to make moves. But to be completely honest with you, you know, looking at, you know, what other teams have been doing in real life, I think if we have a team like what we have now, we got to sacrifice the future. You know, I'm kind of taking a different approach to this because, honestly, the Oilers haven't won a cup since, like, the 80s, 90s, right? The last time we won a cup. You know, we won one last year. But when is this going to ever happen again? We have two amazing players like McDavid and Draisaitl on the team, and I'm not going to go all in. I think we got to go all in. McDavid is, what, 30 years old? Draisaitl's 31. Like, let's go all in again. Let's pick up as many assets as we possibly can at this deadline. It's improved that second line. I want to pick up a good playmaker to play alongside of Draisaitl and Nuge. I think Garland's been good, but I think we could definitely pick up somebody better. Lindholm, Veleno, Kasha, I think we can improve the depth as well. Defense, Nurse, Bouchard, Zadorov, like I said, I will be willing to trade away either Zadorov or Bouchard. I'm willing to make some of those moves because Dmitry Zadorov, if anything, we could bring him back for dirt cheap. He wants like $4 million and we could give him that. So let's do this. Let's do this at deadline. We're going to massively improve the team. We want to go back-to-back. We want to do something like that. I think that'd be amazing for the team. So let's go for it. Why the heck not? So we are a buyer. Let's see what we can get here at the deadline. Hopefully it's some good players here, boys. I am really hoping that we can... Oh, Hedman. Oh, that'd be nasty, bro. Okay, so available. We got Hanifin, Hedman. I mean, Hedman wouldn't be a bad idea to pick up, quite honestly. He's a guy that's been in the playoffs before. He's been a big leader. You got Tuck. Maybe we could try to get a defenseman from a same team that we could get a forward from as well. There's not a whole lot of amazing players, to be quite honest with you. There's not even a goaltender. Defense from, yeah, we got to make some decisions, I guess, here. Matt Dumpa's here as well, but man, he's getting paid good money. We did want a defensive defenseman to bring into the team. That was kind of my idea, to improve Zadorov, or just somebody in general, right? You know what? Yeah, let's take a look at Victor Hedman. I wouldn't mind that. I don't think that's a bad idea from Montreal. Try to get an older defenseman that could be a big leader for the team. He's just a one-year rental. That's a big thing, and he's amazing defensively. What can we get out of you, Montreal? So you do want to trade Brendan Gallagher. It's not a bad idea. You do got also Evgeny Malkin, who's a playmaker, but yeah, not ideal team to trade with. We might have to make 2 deals is the problem here, is what we might have to do. Who else is out there for defensemen? It kind of drops off after that because we just seen Anderson left the market. You got Matt Dumpa as well, but he's only an 84 overall, so it's not like you're massively improving the core, right? Because we're looking to take it a jump up, right? That's the big thing. And I think we pick up a good goaltender that we could have a good tandem, I guess, with. So probably Gustin or those guys. So let's make the first deal. I think Hedman is a guy that we got to go with. It's either that or you go after a guy like Valimaki. You could also go after him, but you're going to have to pay a little bit extra. So let's do Hedman. I think Hedman's a physical guy. What's his stats look like? Physicality's up there. It's just, yeah, I think we keep Bouchard. Because I was only willing to trade away Bouchard if we were going to get like a player that we could actually use. So we'll trade Dmitry Zadorov, and what else do you guys want? You want my boy Isaac McMahon, who's definitely developing well. That is a guy that I do kind of want to keep. They do want him, of course. You guys want any picks? We'll trade our first of next year. And so we don't even need to trade those extra picks. We would be over the maximum salary, so we will try to get a whole crap ton of it retained. And then since we're going to be picking up a forward as well, we could dump off some salary, which is what we're definitely going to have to do. But we definitely want Hedman's contract to be half retained. I think we'll trade away the cap in the next deal because we're already giving up a pretty good amount. Actually, yeah, it might not be a bad idea to try to get rid of cap. Players that we don't need on the team that we're not going to be playing. So, Bouchard, yeah. Dubois, we're keeping. Lindbolm, we're keeping. Garland, we're keeping. McLeod is kind of a guy that we could. Just that $2 million cap hit is kind of steep. Because we got Jesper Ballquist. I mean, he's not a great center. That's the problem with Jesper Ballquist. So, we could dump off Newell in the deal as well. I don't think that's a bad idea. We do got to start making some deals, though. We are going to be arriving right quick on the... oh, we could pick up a physical guy, eh? Carson. Yeah. Let's get a depth grinder as well. And then we could probably get some picks for this year's draft as well. Most likely in the deal. Or next year's, I guess, since you guys don't really have a whole lot. So, Dmitry Zadorov, a first, Sierra Newell for Victor Hedman, Tarnowski, a third, a fourth, and a fifth. Will this go through? No, it does not go through. We'll take off the third. Will this go through? Yes, it will. Welcome Victor Hedman to the Edmonton Oilers as we bolster up our defensive core massively. And then next up on the list, another player that I really enjoy, Alexander Nylander, is the kind of a player that I do want to bring into Edmonton. Playmaker, looks really nice. 2-year deal. I'm going to try to get a little bit of it retained. We're going to probably have to pay big time for this type of player. But that's okay with me because I do want a player like this. So I'm going to decide that we're going to trade away a guy like Ryan McLeod. We already have centermans that can cover him in the PK if need be. We could get rid of some cap space on the team, especially clearing up some room for Nylander as well. So I think we definitely do something like that. And then we give them Yoshimaru. Just because we don't got, we got to make a move. I think this is the next guy that we get rid of. I do want to try to keep McMahon. He could be a replacement for Nylander. And yeah, and then a second round pick because we're giving him McLeod, Yoshimaru, and we actually just can get rid of Yoshimaru and try to get maybe some picks back next year or something. If we could get like a third and a fifth or something like that. So here's the other big deal. McLeod Yoshimaru for Alexander Nylander, a third and a fifth. Will this go through? No, it does not. Will this go through? No, it does not. Okay, okay. How about just at least like 300,000? Just lower it just a bit. Will this go through? There we go. Welcome Alexander Nylander to the Edmonton Oilers as well, as it looks like we are above our cap hit, so we might have to make one more deal. Oh, man, we are loaded up with a lot of players. I'm thinking maybe Kasha in the next deal. Maybe pick up a different depth player for the team as well when we make a goalie trade, because that is the next thing on the list. Is we are absolutely going all in. We are trading a lot of assets, but we are picking up assets that will help this team tremendously. And I did want to pick up some goaltenders. So we got Kevin Lankinen, 901. Definitely not gorgeous. You got Philip Gustafsson, who is a cheap pickup. And he's been absolutely amazing this year. And then you got Sorokin, Binnington as well. He's pretty expensive. And then, yeah, down the list. So I think Gustafsson. I do like Philip Gustafsson right now. He has a good save percentage. I think he'd be a really good, tandem goalie. He hasn't put up crazy numbers over his career, but why not give him a try? I don't see why the heck not in this situation that we're in right now. And then if we can get just a cheap, depth player that we can get for the team to help us out for a little bit. I'm thinking Blake Coleman, but that's going to be the same cap as one of our other players. No, we do not want Tony D. Because we're going to have to deal with some cap. So Gustafsson. I want to try to get a cheap-ass player for them, but they have overpaid all their players, like, ridiculously amounts of money. Brock Nelson. Brock Nelson to replace Kasha. See, that makes our power play worse, though. No, I'll just pick up Gustafsson, I think, right now. Try to, I guess, retain a little bit. I guess you can't do what they do in real life, where you could retain half of that 800,000. But I guess not. So, yeah, we'll trade away a second, a fifth. Probably over an overpayment, but I'm going to try to pick up some more picks. Just some, depth round picks is basically what I'm trying to go after, right? So, a second and a fifth for a Gustafsson, third, fifth, and a sixth. Will that go through? No, it'll not. Actually, do we have any goalies that has a little bit more of expensive cap? I think just to Smith. Well, we can get rid of Point. And that can give us a little bit of cap space. So, will this go through? Yes, it will not. Welcome, Philip Gustafsson, to the Edmonton Oilers. As there we go. We are done with deadline day. That was a crazy deadline day for the Oilers, picking up Gustafsson, D'Angelo, and Kelly Yankora going to the Blue Jackets. Then we also picked up Nylander in a massive deal, which will have him for another year as well, which I like. Kaylen Nassen going to Seattle. And then we also picked up, I think our biggest move is picking up Victor Hedman for Zadorov, first, and Noel. We did a lot of cap dumps, that's for sure. We lost Noel and McLeod, but we replaced them with some good players. So I'm pretty happy with what we did here. I think we massively improved the team. We got a good goalie in Gustafsson who can, build a little bit of a tandem for the team. We're definitely going to have to deal with some roster stuff, which I'm hoping we're not going to have to send down too many players. So we will deal with what we got here for our roster. So let's rearrange the roster a little bit. Hopefully, yeah, we still have a little bit of cap, thank goodness. Anybody in the system that we need to call up? Nope, we are good to go, I think. Goaltending, we got Mr. Gustafsson that we need to call up. Oh, geez. We're going to have to send down somebody. So can we send down Spence alongside of that? Okay, but why? So we're going to have to send down everyone just to call up fucking Philip Gustafsson? Wow, really? What? I hate this fucking game, man. Why don't they make the cap fucking clear? This is an absolute joke. I'm trying to go all in, and I cannot call up my one player because this game is absolutely fucking broken. Why can I not call up one of my guys? What? What do you mean? Why can't I bring up Gustafson? So I picked him up for no fucking reason and I had to play DeSmith the rest of the fucking year? I see $2 million right now that we have. Okay, our team cap hit is $98 million, so it should say negative. So Matheson, oh my fucking god, Jesus. So if we send on all these guys. So if we were to send down these 3 guys, can we do that? Yes, we can. Okay. Now, can I call up Gustafson and swap him out for Rodrigue? There we go. Holy shit. Jesus, Murphy. And now, can I call up anybody else as a depth player? Probably not, because we're right up against the cap, but I just want to see. I wish we could put players on LTIR and just have, like, more freedom to do shit in this game. So we could call up Jensen Harkins. Can we call up a defender? Is the biggest question. Probably not, because we'd be over our cap. For sure. Yeah. So we'll just have to swap players if we have injuries or whatever, or call up people. So we finally figured that out. I don't know why the game is just ludicrous and stupid. And then how I have to I still don't know why this is still a bug from the last game as well, where it just resets your entire lines instead of like, hey, would you like to edit your lines since you picked up new players? It just does not fucking ask, and it's like, I'm just gonna do it anyways. Go fuck yourself. And I'm like, oh yeah, sweet, thanks guys. Thanks, man. Love it. So yeah, we picked up Nylander, which massively improves our second line here. And then defensively, we got Mr. Victor Hedman as well, which our team is just absolutely loaded. We are a loaded squad there. So yeah, we can't play those 2 guys alongside of each other. But we can do Hedman and Simon Evertson, the 2 Swedish defensemen, which look absolutely gorgeous, and I'm pretty pumped up about that. And then we could bump up Bouchard to the top power play. Bump him there like we usually do. Draisaitl could play the 1T. Kaprizov could play up at the point. Now we actually have a decent second unit that we can throw out there. We still have Cash. We still have Garland. Christ, man. We got some good players that we could throw on this power play here for the second unit. So our second unit's going to be crazy good as well. I'm pretty pumped up about that. And then we could throw Kasha. Do we have anybody else that we could throw out there? Yeah, Kasha. So there we go. There's our power play with a ton of right-handers. It's funny how we do not have a single right-handed guy up on that top. We could throw Nylander maybe. But I do like Nuge. Nuge up on that top power play unit. I like him up there. He needs to be staying up there. And then we load up the top power play unit with Draisaitl, McDavid, him. And then instead of Nylander, we can throw one of our goal scorers in Garland instead, since we already got some passing guys there. So we can just throw Garland here instead. It's still a -2. But that's okay. That's alright. PK, Veleno, Tarnarski's not bad defensively. Who are we missing here? We could throw Nuge. I kind of want Nuge instead of Bachquist playing there. We could bump Bachquist up on the top wing with Veleno. And then I want my boy Nuge up on the PK. So yeah, Evertson, him, Nurse, Cook. Yeah, that's really good. I like that. And instead of Bachquist, we throw Nuge once again in there just because he's the center. He could play way better, at least win face-offs for us, and that's what we need. And we don't want to play Gustin right off the get-go because he is injured. And we're not going to be getting Saros back for a bit because he has that broken ankle. So we're going to be doing a tandem of DeSmith and Gustin for the rest of the little bit here. As we were able to finally figure out all the roster stuff, which EA just does not make it very, yeah, he had a broken toe there for a bit. April 10th is when Mr. Saros returns, so He will be back here in a little bit, but still, we got to wait all the way until playoff time. So DeSmith and Guffson will be carrying us to the start of the playoffs, which, good thing we definitely did bolster up the rest of the team. And we just have to find a hot goaltender, basically. We just have to have one of our goaltenders just pop off. But we have Hedman now. We have an improved defensive core. So I'm pretty excited to see how the rest of this year will turn out to be. We'll get Guffson into his first start after these next 2 games. We'll play DeSmith a little bit more. I gotta take Harkins out of the defensive core there. If I can navigate these menus here. Jesus. Get Matheson in there. How's my boy Victor Hedman starting to do here for the Edmonton Oilers? How's his first few games? 4 points, 3 in 3 games. A -3 though with Simon Edvinsson, so not a great start to that pairing. That's okay though. Hopefully it'll improve. We did improve the core though. It sucks that we had to trade away Dmitry Zadorov, and now we're gonna have to figure out what we do with that defensive core now. Because of the fact that we did a trade like that, we're gonna have to pick up somebody in free agency. I guess actually, what am I talking about? The reason why we did that deal is because we got Miles Cook coming up the pipeline, right? So we don't have to worry about spending money on a defenseman to fill up the top 4, because we already got Miles Cook coming up the pipeline because we were smart. We were smart, boys. And how's Nylander doing, too? We haven't checked him out. How's he doing alongside Drysdale and Nugent? 3 points, 5 games. That's not bad. That's pretty good for Nylander. And DeSmith continues doing not too bad, as we will get Guffson in his first few games in an Edmonton uniform. As we will get to see him debut against the Winnipeg Jets. Will he pick up a big dub for the team? The big dubski? No, he does not. He lost 4-2 against the Jets, as we are still struggling here. And we're almost going to be dropping into a wild card spot, which is not a good look for us right now. Our division is stacked, which we did drop into a wild card spot. We got to start getting some wins here, boys. Why can't we fucking score here, man? What is going on? Maybe we stack up the top line and go with Nugent-Dubois. Give that a try, I guess. I don't fucking know, man. Why are we sucking ass? We'll give Nurse and Edmonton a try, I guess. What's Guffson doing here, man? Like, a 906? Fuck, come on, man. Why does our goaltending have to fucking suck this year, dude? Like, it is the worst goaltending showcase ever. There we go. We finally get a win out of Guffson. And in LA, we need a big win against LA. What is going on with this team? One year we were fucking amazing, and I know I had to downgrade the team. We downgraded the team a lot this year. But the goaltending has just been, I mean, we getting good goaltending out of DeSmith, but now it's just kind of trailing off here. So DeSmith, I guess we're going to have to rely on you these next few games, and then, fuck, Jesus Christ. We're actually going to fall out of a playoff spot here, man. There cannot be any physical way that we do. If we do, that is absolutely disgusting. We're not putting Saros back in yet. Saros can wait until he's fully recovered from his injury. Another big win by DeSmith. We really need some big wins out of Guffson now, because we're going to be playing him the next few games. But we reunited that top line because we needed to get something fucking going. Like, we were not getting anything going. Nylander -9. Jesus fucking Christ, man. We'll do that, I guess. We'll give that a try. Maybe I shouldn't have made any moves at all. Fuck, man. Trying to make this team better because we're so close up against the cap. And it just royally screws us, man. Like, gotta just get a few more wins. Yeah, we'll clinch a playoff spot, but we're doing a lot better near the end here, thank goodness. We're starting to pick up some big dubs. Dallas lost there against the Dallas Stars, and then St. Louis. And then we'll finally get Saros back in the net here. So, Gustin, now we're going to have to kind of decide on who's going to be the backup for Saros. I think DeSmith is kind of still that unanimous decision. Gustin, a 908. Yeah, he's been all right, but I think Saros is the man to go with here again. And we got to give Saros a tryout. We got to see how well he goes into the playoffs. Hopefully, he'll perform a lot better than what he is right now. We definitely need him to be that big guy here. So, give me some big dubs, man. That's all I want is some big dubs out of you. That's all I need. Big win. Shutout after coming back from a broken ankle. San Jose. A loss against San Jose. That's okay. We're going to definitely be we're going to have home ice advantage for Seattle. And then an 8-0 win for Saros. Okay, so he goes out there. He gets 2 shutouts. He loses once. That, kind of raises my worries about Saros just a little bit up. Because those were 2 massive games, and he really improved in those 2 games. So maybe he was just having a lingering injury throughout the year, and that's the reason why he was just playing like trash. I don't know. I don't know what we're going to do to start off the playoffs, so I kind of want to give it the reins to Saros because he's been that man every single year. But I don't know. But we make it into the playoffs, definitely not flawlessly, but that doesn't matter. It's about what you do in the playoffs is what counts. And we're going to be going up against the Seattle Kraken. I don't think we've ever went up against the Kraken ever yet before. So here in the 2027 playoff run, we're going to be going up against the Kraken. So goals for per game, 3.34, which we led the league. Goals against per game, we also were one of the best teams in that as well. Our power play, 19.2, was amazing as well. Our power play was flawless. And our PK was also one of the best. We were best in almost every stat. We just had really rough times with goaltending. Like, that was the biggest thing. Offensively, McDavid was amazing. Draisaitl, Kaprizov, all end of the year is all pretty good. Dubois, solid season from him. Alexander Nylander, almost shouldn't have even picked him up. He was a waste. 12 points in 22 games, which is still all right, but a -4 wasn't flawless. Hopefully, he'll do a lot better come towards these playoffs. Garland Nuge, he's been slowing down his point getting, which is understandable. The team is getting older by the day. And then heading into the defense, you got Hedman, who was just an absolute madman. Fell for the team, 21 points in 22 games. This was the reason why we picked up Hedman, man. He was a big-time defenseman, and he's going to be massive for this playoff run that we're about to go on. And in goaltending, which we had a goalie carousel this year with DeSmith, and then Saros didn't do very good, and then we picked up Saros at the deadline, which we really didn't need to, quite honestly. We could almost win with Colton Point still, and we would have been just fine. I was just a little worried. I thought maybe we could get a miracle out of Gustafson and he would have been played amazing, but he was really not that amazing, to be quite honest with you. He's just okay. And then these are the rest of the prospects. And the point getters. So you have Kucherov, McKinnon, McDavid was just falling right behind him. Kucherov looks to, Lutstrom got the Maurice Richard with 55 goals on the year, with Matthews and Kucherov just falling right behind him. Defensively, Rasmus Dahlin had the most points in the league with Quinn Hughes, Cale Makar just trailing behind them. Not too shabby. And there you guys are. So we're about to head into the first round with the Seattle Kraken, which should be a big-time episode against the team. It's going to be a tough matchup. I think this is the team that has Gregory Cross as well there in the Krakenville. So let's take a look at where we got to go up against, see who we're facing. So Seattle Kraken. So, yeah, this is a pretty deep team. They got Gregory Cross, who is an absolute amazing player for the Seattle Kraken. He's been producing a lot of points over the past few years. This year, he's playing alongside Sam Reinhart and Nikolai Ehlers. And then they got Philippe Perrault, which was another high pick for them, playing alongside Jared McCann and Jonathan Huberdeau. And then they got Max Domi, Nick Cousins, Cole Lind, Sonny Milano, Kursev, and Thomas Tatar. Their defense, they got Sergei Puskarivov, Kale Fleury. They also picked up Jussi Valimaki at the deadline to improve their defensive core, so they were really going all in, kind of like us. And then they also picked up Addison and Edmondson, and then their goaltender, they got Philip Grubauer into the back of the net for the Seattle Kraken still, who's been an all right goaltender for them over the past few years. His last year of his deal as well. And then they also have Colton Point. We traded him to Seattle. Wow, that's kind of funny. That is kind of funny that we sent him and now he's not doing that great. He was doing amazing here in Edmonton and now he's just in Seattle. But that's the team that we got to go up against. And I'm going to end the episode here, guys. In the next episode, we'll be taking on the Seattle Kraken in the first round of playoff action as we try to go back to back. Will it happen? We'll have to see. It's going to be a tough task, especially with this team. It's going to be a little bit harder than what we had last year. Last year, we had an absolute loaded team. But this year, defensively, I got to say, we're a lot better defensively, so I'm pretty excited to see what will happen. But for now, guys, I'm going to end the video here. Thank you very much for watching, boys, and I'll see you guys all in the next one. Adios, amigos.